What's up guys, Cloudie here from the America server, and today's topic is gonna be the financials of Vespa and what that might mean for the developer itself and the game as well, what prospects that might mean for the future, what we can expect and what we shouldn't expect in the future. Now, if you have been following the Facebook group of King's Raid or around Plug Cafe, then you probably have seen this article by MMO Culture, which is basically reporting on the Q4 um, um, financial report of Vespa, this was posted on the 25th of February. Now, interestingly, I've tried searching for this information on sites like investing.com, but they do not have the Q4 reports yet, so I'm not sure where the site got these numbers from or this information from. It's possible that it was only released in Korean so far, and that's why it's, if you try to Google it, or at least I couldn't find it even via Google, so maybe that's why it's nowhere else to be found. So for now, I think this is the only site that has this information. If you guys know a different place, then feel free to point it out. I would be interested because these kind of number crunching is always interesting, and it kind of tells how the game is doing, how the developer is doing. So yeah, let's see what they say. They say that in the Q4 results, so from October to December, the company made 27 million US dollars. That's a huge number, and you are like, wow, Jesus Christ, so many people paid into in-game purchases and merchandise and stuff. But then you go to the next number, and operating profit is around 1.4 million. So compared to their actual revenue, their operating profits are really low. I mean, 27 million income and only 1.4 that is actual profit. That's not a lot. And that means that they aren't really sitting on huge amounts of cash, especially if you consider that before they were actually losing money. And here they say that compared to the Q3 reports, they have increased the revenue by 50%, which is huge if you consider this, and the operating profit by 110%. So which means that not only they gain a lot more money, they have become more efficient with it, how they spend it and how they keep it. So that's pretty interesting. Especially because as we have seen that they were losing money before, and especially around September or October when the Halloween packages were coming out, and there was a valid concern among some players that Vespa might just be trying to milk the players from as much money as they can, and then we'll just shut down the service because they don't want to lose money anymore. This has happened in the industry before, where a game came out with very good deals and people paid in and spent a lot of money, and then just the service was shut down and they lost everything, So this is interesting that they have turned around the company and they are making a profit now, although not too much. And of course, mainly the profits are coming from the Japan server. We have known this since the server started, that's where the biggest spenders are. That's why this server is just wrecking everyone else, even the Korean server in the ranking. So yeah, North America, Europe, they are just not in the same league as these guys. But we have known this, so it's no surprise. And there was, of course, the contributions from the successful Soul Weapon global update. I wouldn't quite say it's successful because there are quite a few concerns about it. And then they say that the collaboration with Dreamcatcher. Now that's something I would be curious about. Like, who is paying whom there? Is Vespa paying Dreamcatcher? Is the Dreamcatcher paying? I do not think Dreamcatcher is paying Vespa there, but maybe is it like mutually beneficial agreement that nobody is paying nobody, but they are like free advertisement for one another? I don't know. Now, what these numbers also tell us that, many of us, including myself, sometimes like to bash Vespa for being greedy, for bringing out these new super packages that are just way making it way easy for whales to get super strong. But at the same time, they made soul weapon content really hard, like ethers and soul weapons themselves are really hard to get by. Why, if you throw a couple hundred US dollars at the game, then you can max out a character. And yeah, we like to bash Vespa for this, but if you see these numbers, then it seems that they are pretty much fighting for survival there. Again, their margins were pretty low. Out of 27 million, they only kept 1.4. So in a sense, what we can expect here that these things will continue, I believe. That until there is a change in the company itself, they will need to keep pushing out these very lucrative packages, which are lucrative for the company and very beneficial to you if you can afford them, because they need to keep the money coming in. Of course, there are operating costs to maintaining an online service. You need to have technicians, you need to have the servers in a data center, you need to have your developers, you need to have your graphic people, and so on and so on. So of course there are operating costs, and we do not know exactly how much that is per server, because of course, like the Europe server might actually, it's probably not generating any money for them, unlike say Japan, which is generating a lot. So does this mean that at some point they will shut down Europe? Well, that would be really bad. I think if they did that, it would be a real bad sign for the game community, and a lot of people would lose trust in them. So I hope they do not do such things, but it's in the cards if their numbers aren't stable enough. Now, later in this post, they say that they are planning large-scale updates, including new content and chapters for 2020, so in order to maintain the game's popularity. That is very important because we haven't seen new stories and really new content in many months now. I wouldn't consider Soul Weapon to be content, because other than Eclipse, which is terrible, and the trials, there isn't really much to it. Yeah, they are new stuff that you can collect, but it's not content. It's not really that you play. So and being an RPG, you kind of need story, to keep being immersed, I think. So yeah, I'm really hoping that they will be coming out with new stuff. There were some signs of it, like new raid boss that is related to Kane, and new heroes. I hope that they really keep going with the storyline and stuff. Probably because I think they were also teasing that Dark Castle and Dark Frey will become, or Fallen Castle, I'm not sure, Dark or Fallen, whatever, they will become playable characters, and it seems it's not an upgrade to the existing one, they will be new characters. And here they also state that they are planning to expand both into music. I guess they will keep on their collaboration with Dreamcatcher or with other bands, and they want to make an animation, which we have seen, I think, signs of, that they are planning a King's Raid anime. That could be cool, but again, they need a lot of story for that to work. So Vespa, keep churning out the story, please. Now, they also say that the ambitious developers stated that 2020 will be a year of more development as a global developer by diversifying game genres to major global markets. Now, you might remember that last year, I think, Vespa purchased a developer studio, and there have been news that they are also working on other games, and this was also one of the concerns that people had, that maybe they are just planning to abandon King's Raid and just go with their new project, and that's why we are not seeing new stuff. Now, of course, if they do that, that will be pretty bad news for their names. It will give them a bad reputation, and I'm not sure how many people would trust their next game if they just abandoned King's Raid. So, yeah. Now, of course, this also means that if you look at these numbers, this means that their profits or their operating costs already include the cost of developing that or those new games that they are working on. So we can consider that probably King's Raid is doing quite okay now. If we discount for the cost of those other games, if you do not know how much they are, then probably they are doing fine with King's Raid, but we can expect for the game to keep going, but also to keep having these packages and to keep being a bit more pay to win than it was originally. At least until they roll out their new games and they start maybe bringing in their own revenue, so they no longer need King's Raid to like keep them alive. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this report. I do not think they will shut down the game because so far they are profitable. $1.4 million per quarter is not bad if they can keep doing this, but definitely the kind of milking the whole fiasco with soul weapons and eaters, it's not helping them. So I hope they can focus on tuning the whole pay to win side a little bit down without going bankrupt in the process. But I definitely think that the game will keep going, and once we have those new games that they are planning to introduce, then their costs should go down, or at least they should get more revenue from those new games, and then maybe King's Raid can be tuned into a less pay to win kind of game again. Then again, maybe if they see that the game is functioning this way and still is being popular, then they might just keep it as it is, greed being greed. It's hard to let go of the money and say like, oh, okay, we will just go back to being better. But then again, that might mean that the game will fail and people will quit because, yeah, it's not fun if you can't upgrade unless you pay and you just see people opening their wallets and zipping by. So these are my thoughts. I do not think they will go bankrupt, but we definitely can expect the game to remain more pay-to-win friendly than free-to-play friendly, at least for the time being, probably for the whole of 2020. And maybe when they bring out their new games, which we have no idea about yet, then we can see some changes. But they are planning large-scale updates, and hopefully those will be fun and bring some new life to the game itself, so we can keep playing. These are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. How do you feel about this? Have you found the report anywhere else? Actually, I would be really interested in that. Are you actually willing to keep supporting the game or just keep playing the game, knowing that it's actually more pay to win now than that it used to be? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like the King's Raid content, please feel free to subscribe or hit the like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm and it helps the channel grow so I can keep doing this stuff. So thank you. This was Cloudie for now. See you at the next video. Bye bye.